Yeah, man.
Alright, well, for everyone who's tuning in, very warm welcome to the third EUeSports Vodcast. First off, I just want to let you all know straight away that you can get involved with this by tweeting us and do it with the hashtag EUeSports. You do that and then we'll answer any questions that do come up, or any of the mature questions, we'll answer it. So just make sure to tweet whatever you want to know and we'll discuss it here. I've got Dan Unearthly Baker with me, Josh Heights, don't know his second name, Phil Huggan and Josh Initiate Cooper. Lads, thanks for getting involved in this as per. Let's get straight into it. I've got a list of topics that we're going to discuss, and I think we'll go for the main one, in my opinion, definitely, and that is the announcement of EGL 6 and 7. EGL 6, for those who don't know, is going to be held in Stockholm, and it's going to be an Xbox-only 32-team event. Now, for PS3, who thought that it was going to be a PlayStation event abroad, this was kind of a blow. I'll start off with you, Phil. What do you think of this development?
Well, I think people have overreacted, first of all, to the announcement. It's not really that big a deal. You've seen all the PS3 players are EGL let us down, we're going to stick with Reflex and stuff, but, it makes sense that they're just focusing on Xbox and, trying to move further into Europe by Sweden and stuff, and obviously EE had a successful event, so it makes sense to me. And we've still got an event in August, which should be sick. So yeah.
Well, I don't know. I wouldn't say EE was that successful. So they only had 8 teams, 12 teams.
Yeah, well, it wasn't a disaster, was it?
No, I think they expected a lot more, didn't they?
Well, I think it wasn't going to be as much, was it? I mean, 8 teams. 8 teams isn't really that great, is it? Takes it back to ETL 2 days on PS3, isn't it? I've been disappointed. I know Marcus was.
But you need to remember that's Sweden, so it's quite expensive to travel to, and it's expensive to stay. So
yeah, the economy is quite high.
It'll be interesting to see if they can actually hit 32 teams. I don't know if they'll be able to, but we'll see, I guess.
I think they're trying to do what Reflex did, aren't they? Because Reflex started doing singular events. Obviously they did our event, which is PS3 pod only. They've done, I think, was it a week before, a week after that, they did a Halo event only. And then they've done FIFA only events. So, I don't know, it's interesting. I think they just want to get more events in total throughout the year. And could work quite well, or, don't know, see how this EGL 6 goes, see how it will work.
Yeah. Now, Josh Heights?
I think they handled it so badly. I think it's a good idea what they're doing, but they just handled the release of it so badly. I know that I personally was sitting there with a few people on a Skype call, sitting through this monotonous little chat about how they run events and stuff, just waiting for the event to be announced, and then they're just and there's no PS3 EGL 6. Everyone just went mad. Phil, you're talking about not to go mad. I know you went mad on Twitter. I retweeted that.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really affect us that much, because obviously we'll have Reflex sort of around June, July time, and then we'll be going into EGL 7, 4th and 5th of August, I think. So, yeah, they just handled it badly, but it doesn't really affect us.
Yeah, it's a good point about how they released that. I told Mello it was pretty dreadful the way they'd done it. We were all sitting, watching, just waiting, watching adverts. It just seemed like they were just filling time to make a bit of money off the adverts, and then it got right at the end, and they were just it seemed like they just screwed every other community over. It was just a bit frustrating to watch.
It was.
Nisha, what about you?
I think it's a big deal, really. It's not that important. They were always going to announce a separate event for somewhere abroad. I think that was known beforehand. People are just stupid, really. They're more mad because of the way they did it rather than what's been announced. Because the way they did it was stupid. That's about it.
Yeah. We'll push on again to the EGL 7 event, and that has been announced. It's going to be the weekend of, I think, the first weekend of August, am I right?
The 4th and 5th of August.
4th and 5th, yeah. Location undisclosed as of yet. We're assuming that it's just going to be another one of those big cities in England.
Yeah? It
won't be in London because it's Olympics that weekend, so it's not going to be London. No way.
Yeah, the Olympics.
It will be in the UK. It won't be.
It just won't be in London.
Hopefully it's up north again.
Because I found out that I might be going to the Olympics that weekend, so I definitely know that it's not going to be in London. There's just no way.
It'd be crazy to do it in London.
It would be stupid to do it in London with the Olympics going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
He's
it'll
LA in London, surely. He's LA.
It'll be in the north somewhere. I don't know where, but it'll be north.
I think it'll be Liverpool, to be honest.
Yeah. I was thinking maybe a bit more Midlands, because like we've kind of had that northern venue. Maybe they go Birmingham or somewhere like that. I don't know.
I think Nottingham would be decent.
I don't think area is what it means. There was a discussion on Twitter. It's just venues. They don't look at where it is. It's like getting a good venue, which supports the internet and whatever.
It would be good if it was in the Midlands, but
To be honest, we're all going to attend no matter where it is. So it could be in Baghdad. We'll probably still go. You know for a fact Dan will still be there. But anyway, at least it's open up for Reflex. So hopefully that'll be around like June, July time. Like I know Dan spoke to Exota.
Yeah, we had a bit of a chat, but nothing concrete. He's really focusing on doing a big EGL type event where I think he's renting a bigger place. I have no idea where, or just obviously in Holland somewhere, but he's renting a bigger place and he's going to do an event with all games. And I don't think that's too much of a secret. I think if you ask him, he's happy to tell people that. But
Yeah, heard that.
that won't be till later on, as far as I know. And then they're still just waiting on things to confirm before they can do anything else. But
I heard that's September. I'm not sure if people know that. I don't know if I just like leaked that, but I heard it was September, and then.
Well, I think that's what he's sort of aiming for, isn't he? Because he can't do it too close to EGL, so you have to assume it was around September.
Yeah, basically we just need to badger him. Like fair enough, it's not very nice. Keep like banging on to him, but as long as he doesn't forget about it, people just keep tweeting him, keep like mentioning PS3. That there's a very good chance of an event before EGL 7. So we just need to keep PS3 name like in his mind, really.
I think from speaking to him, we're definitely going to get a 2-day event this time as well, so that'll be way better.
Yeah.
So as long as I'd very much prefer it if they didn't as much do the sports all kind of thing, if they did one dedicated to PS3. So if you think about it, if Zula does something and he makes it Xbox and PS3 together in the same place to do an event, obviously not together like a separate event but in the same hall together, I don't think that would really benefit us, because for stream for example, one of the things that makes Reflex so much better than EGL in my opinion is the media coverage of it, the photos, the stream, the interviews. It's really, really good for our scene, and if we lose that, which could probably happen if we end up having to share an event with that, it wouldn't be very good for us at all. It wouldn't really make us grow as much. I think it was a real breakthrough when we had the old Reflex, and we need to keep that going.
Yeah, we need our own weekend, definitely. Like our own weekend away from everything else. It needs to also be in a location. No, not a location, a date where we're going to get as much PS3 players going as possible. And like, if they have put in a cap on how many teams are allowed, we want like as many PS3 teams to be able to come. So that, because obviously all the PS3 teams are waiting. Like, I don't want it to be far enough away from an Xbox time that we get a load of Xbox teams to go in. I want to get as many PS3 teams to go. So the dates have got to be right, basically.
People forget that we did actually do better than Xbox, because Xbox had their event 3 weeks after ours or something like that, and they got 18 teams and we ended up with 21 or 22. So take the small victories.
No, I think it's going to be a lot more this time because of just how long Reflex has been. I think, like, with the delay for Xbox and PS3 with the announcement, I think Xbox will get back to where they were at Reflex 7, where it came to 40. I think if PS3 turn out the numbers, which I think they will do, because everyone wants a bit of Reflex at the moment when it comes to PS3, so I think we can definitely crack 30 teams.
You'd like to think so, but...
to be honest, Reflex is like our premier event, like Story mentioned earlier. We get the stream, we get like the full weekend dedicated to us, so it's a lot better than EGL. Like, it's just
as well.
Yeah,
it brings like a really professional vibe to it, doesn't it?
As long as we get the foreign teams coming again, I think there'll be more English teams like going over. Last time it was it was kind of like an awkward time, like, because a few teams weren't formed, a few players weren't even they didn't come back, so.
Fair enough.
So last time not all the English teams attended. Like, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, put out. So there was quite a few English players who didn't go to it, and I think they'll go now. So combined with the foreign teams who went last time, we'll obviously get more. So
I think it's because that first event's been out of the way. It's kind of like tested the waters. So next event will be even bigger because everyone will want to go.
that's exactly what Zor wanted to do. He didn't want to give us a 2-day event because he had no idea how many teams were going to end up getting. He was just a bit worried about the whole thing because obviously he hadn't done PS3 before, but as it was like a pretty massive success, he's happy to just go full out on it and just give us everything, I think.
Yep. Right, well, moving on, because I think we might need to be off by 8 if people want to go watch a football and that, so
yeah,
we'll try and not get it over with quickly, but we'll move on a bit. So EUeSports YouTube, big hypes?
Well guys, we've got the YouTube first bit of new content up today. If you haven't seen it yet, go check out the YouTube. That's just type in EUeSports into YouTube and it'll come up. We've got a lot coming. We've got the top 5 plays are being edited. We just used like good clips we already knew for this episode, but we'll open it up for the whole community. For the next episode, the community montage already being edited, already being colour corrected, the transitions are going on. Some clips have been removed, hate to break it to some of the community, but you did send in like potato recorded clips. And there was a couple of clips which were like a 2-piece and then a nade, which we didn't use, but it's still going to be a great community montage. Mutes is editing that for free. He's not really a known editor, but I saw his stuff and it was good, so I thought we'll sign him up for it. Apart from that, there's just going to be, we've got a RNX versus Infected show match coming up, and I'm just going to get a lot of show matches organised for everyone. Try and get all the teams involved in the media, so yeah, it's going well. I don't know if you boys have any requests we haven't talked about for the media on the website.
I've got a question.
Oh yeah, go on, Phil.
Basically, top 5 players? Are you getting someone to commentate that, like Q-bots? I don't know if that's what they're called, but like they got Starry, I think, done one, EUeSports done one.
Oh right, yeah, we can get guests on it. Obviously, I just did the first one just to get it ready to be released. But if you're interested in that, we can definitely get new people on every week. Try and get some internet celebs on.
Yeah,
like Star.
Yep.
I think we should really focus on show matches a bit more. We should try and get one out, maybe not every night, but sort of like 2-3 nights a week at least, and just give all different sorts of teams chances to get on stream and just try and make a name for themselves, that sort of thing. So I think show matches is the way forward, pretty much.
Deserto Live, I don't know if you've watched much of Deserto Live, but they're really professionally done. I'm getting us a load of new GFX made for the show matches, and the thing I'm looking for on PS3 is like good commentators. Like there's Starry, and that's about it at the moment. I know CSC Dan's got a little bit of interest with his mad enthusiasm, but I'm looking for commentators to come forwards because I want to get good professional show matches on. But if I'm bothering Starry every night, like commentate this, he's just gonna like lose it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do definitely need another 2-3 commentators, I'd say.
Yeah,
at least. Yeah.
So like, if anyone's interested, just send in a clip of you commentating, or do a trial run with Hypes, or get hold of him.
Just come in a Skype call with me and like comment. I'll go on webcam. You can commentate what I'm doing. I'll move about my room. I don't mind. Like, but it's great exposure for you. You can obviously take some liberties on like the stream and shout out your own Twitter and stuff like that. It's just a good way to get known in the community, really.
But you've got to show proper enthusiasm rather than just. I can't really explain it. There's so many people who try to commentate and just fail majorly because they just don't really want to do it. They only want to do it just to show off to their friends. Like,
Toilet. There's a certain type of breed who can only be commentators, like Story. Like I've tried it and it's fucking terrible. But it's something I'd love to do, but it's just you need the voice, you need the personality.
People always like try to be really funny as well. It turns out like them being really, really dry. Like you have to be like one of the naturally funny people, otherwise you're not funny.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the niche kind of things, or whatever you say.
Yeah.
If you've got the voice, you've got the voice. If you haven't, you haven't.
At the same time, Heights, is the streaming that you want to do for show matches, is it going to be on Twitch or is it going to be on YouTube?
It'll be through our YouTube.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that because like one of the reasons that Deserto and like EUeSports seem to have stopped streaming as much is because there were a lot of complaints. I know they had this Machinima partnership, which is the reason why they had to do it, but there were so many complaints about like YouTube just just the way it was done just seemed crappy almost. Like the quality seemed to be bad. The comments as well messed up. I've only seen it a couple of times through YouTube, but it was just the comments were just really hard to go through and just write out. It just seemed really really messed up, and Twitch was so much easier. What can you do to fix that?
Well, Comp Central, it's not like there's not much to do with Comp Central at the moment. It's just a project that I'm running, but we are going to have a website up at some point, and that's just going to be literally, it's not going to be a forum, it's not going to be a news site, it's just going to be streaming. So eventually I'm planning to get all the show matches on there, which will just be an embedded stream. You come to the site to watch it, but I don't know about obviously EUeSports with the Machinima partnership. I don't know how we can get around that really.
It needs to be on YouTube basically, but like people said, YouTube, the quality's not that bad, but it's like the chat box is terrible. You have to like set up a schedule before you want to stream anything. Like Twitch, you can just turn it on, stream, bang, done. But YouTube, you need to like set up a schedule, get a direct link. It's just a bit of a hassle. So hopefully they'll improve that. But
I think it's a case of just working with it for now. I mean, it's not that bad as long as the streamer is what it's doing. And it also has its positives as well. Like the VODs become available like straight away, pretty much, and like it's really easy to separate them out, and like you can find where the videos are and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as the streamer who's doing it knows what he's doing, they shouldn't be too much problems. I mean, the quality's just the same, really. So I think it's just a case of dealing with now. If people find the chat like stupid, they can always just use the chat like you put in on EUeSports now. So
I was just going to say that that's a solution that we're going to have once we start doing show matches, which we will regularly. We're going to have the stream embedded on the homepage in the sidebar on the right hand side. That'll be like a mini version of the chat box, which has just been
that's a good
put up the other day. So you can watch a stream and chat on the right hand side as well.
Yeah.
So that'll be up next time. Well, the first show match will get sorted really.
Definitely, I think that will be RNX versus Infested if you're still up for that, Dan.
Yeah.
I don't know if you caught the video I put up, but there was some quite offensive talking going on from Gals. I don't know if that's infuriated you.
I feel he has like a fetish for Dan or something.
He loves it, doesn't he?
Yeah, he has like a weird kind of fetish. Like
he just
mentions him in every kind of video he does.
You can like sense the jealousy in his voice whenever he talks. It's like I don't know what's wrong with him. And I don't know why he thinks I have a receding hairline, so I like wearing my hat, I guess, but terrible virgin banter, that's what it is.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'll have to talk with both team captains to get that set up, but maybe this week or early next week we'll get that on the roll, so they won't have time to advertise it, etc.
I think we brushed past CSC Dan earlier, didn't we? He was like...
I was just about to talk about that, yeah.
Yeah, and he's doing great things. I mean, he's setting up 4 little tournaments. I think they're supposed to be one-day cuts, but they might overrun. And he's putting a bit of his own money in, he's giving a bit of incentive, and it's all towards... Like, if you haven't checked the thread out, it's really good. It's all based towards EGL. So you can win cash prizes, but if you're not going to EGL, you won't get those prizes. So it's all really LAN motivated, and it's really good. So I think he's got quite a following on his website as well. I mean, nothing massive, but he's got quite a few groups, so that's good. Getting more people involved and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. I know Dan's got a lot going on, I think. I was talking to him the other day about maybe I'm going to do something with Dan based on his forum, but he's appeared out of nowhere and just started going on a mad one, like trying to do tournaments and all this stuff. And he's a nice lad, and he's an absolute nutter on the comms, if anyone's seen any of his commentary work. So, yeah, he's good addition to the community, I think.
Yeah. And he's also sponsoring teams as well, or something like that.
Yeah. I don't quite understand if he's actually sponsoring a team and doing the tournament, or if he meant he's sponsoring teams by doing the tournament. I'm not sure on that. Maybe we have to get him on one time.
I think he meant he wanted to sponsor a team as well, but yeah, I'm not sure either.
Yeah.
Okay, super. Moving on again, we're going to have a look at the upcoming EUeSports P2P. However, this is a different P2P to normal. A lot of people have sometimes said in the past, which I think is kind of a shame on EUeSports, that if the top teams enter, let's say someone like Jake made a team, Jake UKPFC made a team, they wouldn't enter because they wouldn't win. Personally, I think that's completely wrong, because like the Serto, for example, if the top teams enter, little teams want to enter just to play them and, you know, to get the experience and the exposure. That's what it should be for EUeSports. It's a shame it's not like that. but we've had to adapt, and as a result, the committee have created the PTP tournament where I think is it the top three teams and players on online and offline tournaments on 3 can't enter. Dan, if you want to go into a little bit more about that and how it's going.
Yeah, it's basically, we set up 2 sets of criteria, which was top 3 at LAN or top 3 in any significant tournament that you can't enter. But we also had to make it invitational just because we knew people were going to find ways around it and things like that. So we literally named it EUES Invitational P2P, and it was something I wanted to try, and sort of half the committee thought it might be decent, half the committee thought it was going to be awful, so we just thought we'd give it a go. And up until about 3-4 days ago, it was looking terrible. I mean, no one seemed interested. Lots of people said they were going to pay, but they hadn't. But I think now we've got 12 plus teams, which is more than we had for the other P2P, with a higher entry price as well. So, I mean, it's still not great, but it's definitely working forward. I don't know. And considering how many people we've excluded as well, I think we've excluded, I don't know, a good 6 teams at least, possibly more than that. So 12 teams or so isn't too bad, so it should be a decent little prize pool, and hopefully a decent little tourney as well. So, yeah.
We'll make an effort to get those matches streamed and so to get like not the lesser players, but the lesser known players, give them a bit of exposure and like a bit of the limelight.
Yeah, definitely. No one wants
I still don't think it's enough teams though. I still think it's...
Josh, I think I'll just call me and you a lesser player, but never mind.
I still think it's a stupid, like, small amount of teams. It's not good enough yet. I think teams who are playing one-day cups every day still haven't been reached properly. There's still loads of English teams who they only visit the website just to look at the one-day cup section who need to be outreached. So 12 teams is still good enough. It's still pretty shit.
It seems weird. I mean, like, people have to pay like 10 quid for GB Premium for a couple of months, but they won't pay like £2.50 for a big prize tournament. It's just, I don't know, I find it weird, but there you go.
It's true. I think going on with the media again, once we get the YouTube...
Sorry boys.
Once we get the YouTube more active, I mean, I can put out promotional, just little videos, just saying like I sort of hype up a bit, like enter this tourney, it's only a tenner, you get to play against all these top teams. Like the media is the main thing that can hype up teams, because like a good team is not, like there's unknown teams that are as good as some respected teams, so the media is the only thing that hypes up those teams to the level where the Xbox teams are. So I think if we keep pushing the media, we're only going to get more influx of players onto the website.
I think we missed out on the beat as well by, like, I actually thought of this, but I was asleep at the time or something, I just forgot to mention it. Like, the one they cut, what we should have done is we should have had, like, a little bit at the top of each one going like, oh yeah, EUeSports P2P, available now, you can sign up here. We should have put that at the top of them, but I forgot I realised, and then I forgot, like, after it already closed. We should have had, like, every day for that, the week before deadline, had that going.
That's a really good idea.
But
play Josh.
I know, but I'm just speaking of it now, but any announcement we have from now on, we should just plaster it at the top of our one-day cups, because they're seen by so many noobs. Well, I mean really good players who don't look at the rest of the forum.
Yeah.
And that's like a way we need to be reaching out to people more. Like,
I think my announcement seemed to confuse a lot of people as well. I don't know why. It seemed fairly straightforward, but I had about 6 people ask me on that on the Saturday, who won the P2P, and it clearly said that the P2P used the deadline for Friday and things like that. So maybe I need to work on the structure and presentation of the announcement, but I'm not sure.
I think if this one goes well, if this pay-to-play goes well and we get a nice lot of media coverage on it, I'll stick up on the YouTube, get the final up there commentated, then people see like, wow, we can really get exposure from this. I like the idea of this amateur tournament. Obviously it'd be nice for me, because like obviously I'm not that much of a good player. I'd like to be able to enter a tourney where Xbox players don't just come in and win it, or if you're RNX just take it again. We just need to sort out, once more people start entering, we can definitely have more flexibility to run a few more tourneys and let some more people win some money.
Definitely.
Super. Another tournament that's recently been announced and has just started up is the FTG tourney, which has been pretty much a plethora of French teams in this tournament and a few English teams. I mean, I have a look at the groups. I know my group, especially, my team there has Skitlight in our group, and other than that, I think we've got like 8 French teams. I don't know if it's the same for you lot, but there's a lot of sign-ups have come up, and it looks like it's going to be good. Lots of games need to be played, around 8 games a group stage, so things are looking promising with that.
Yeah, definitely. I think in our group we got, I don't know how many, it was 7, 8 or 9, but every other team was French in our group. But are there 8 groups of 8, or is it 8 groups of 10?
We have Nova, and then we have the Norwegian team, the French teams, the Finnish team. We've got fucking all of Europe and all.
Ours is multinational.
I feel sorry for your group, Phil. I swear I saw a Adrenaline or someone in your group. They're Finnish and they are very aided.
EUeSports, they're Finnish. Is that Adrenaline?
Yeah, Phil, you're going to have fun playing them. I can just imagine you right now. You'll just want to quit, start the game, first death, bullshitted, I'm done. Honestly, not really nice, but I think that's good because that's going to give people more reason to play games rather than just scrim. It's about time we had a bit of some serious competition, and some serious games. Obviously, it gives EUeSports a chance to stream a few big clashes. I know our game against Skitlight Heights. Feel free to approach us. That should be a decent game when that happens. And there's just there's lots of potential there. Us supposed to get any French teams that want to get into EUeSports as well. Maybe get them on the stream and just see what happens. Obviously, contacting them is hard, but we should see what we can do and hopefully that something can come off with this. But I think this is going to be good. It's going to be long though. Goodness, like 8 games or 9 or so. I don't know about the deadlines much about them. I think Shocks was sorting that in our team, but it's going to go on for a long time. So it should be interesting to see who's going to come out on top of that, and especially if there's going to be any upsets maybe between maybe RNX and maybe a French team, gives them a scare in the groups.
Yeah, I think
Story, read the chat, man.
Sorry for any technical difficulties with the mic then.
Yeah. I think it's a 64-team tourney, and with decent prizes as well, so yeah, it pans out. Hopefully you should do quite well.
What are the prizes?
Is it 4 pairs of gunners, I think?
Yeah.
Something like that?
4 pairs of gunners first, and then vouchers for second and third.
Yeah, so it should be decent, something decent anyway.
Yeah, it's like something that will help you outside gaming, get with girls and that, wearing those glasses out to the beach and that, so it's really big shout out to FTG.
Yeah, I want a pair of them glasses actually, so probably gonna have to win it, lads.
You don't?
No, I do.
The ones that they got are the Modern Warfare 3 ones. They're not as good as the proper ones.
I wouldn't wear them outside the house, but...
Oh no, I'm the same.
I think if my dad walked in, I was sitting there with my headset on those yellow glasses, sweating out, I think I'd just be kicked out of the house, to be honest with you. I still want to win though. We won our first game 3-0. We got Same Blood and also...
Is it all best of 5 as well? Yeah.
Yeah, it's all best of 5, which is good.
Is it a month to play the group games, or is it a month for the whole tournament?
I don't know. I think it's a month for the whole tournament. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's French. What can you do?
Exactly.
Alright, there are a couple of questions that come up on Twitter. Let me just quickly ask them to you now. One's come up from Doyler. Can you name the teams that were involved in the P2P, Dan?
Off the top of my head, probably not. I think Phil can, if Phil can get it up.
I'll send you a list not long ago. Chuckle definitely paid for a team. Ghost has got a new team, are they called Nova or something?
Yeah, well, Ghost team, which is Nova. We got Doyler, Nick Mitchell's team. We've got Jen's team, which is him, Marky. We've got... Who else we got? We've got Retro Gaming.
They're decent, they're quite decent.
And you've got My Pressure, obviously, Emmett, Nexi, and I'm picking up for Nexi. So it's me, Emmett, Aaron, and Acid.
I think we've got Infuriate as well.
I'm playing with Shuffle.
Yeah. Then BD, Truffle's playing with BD. And I'm not sure, we've got a few more. But it's about, I think it's about 12 teams now. And I think there's a Dean's team as well, which might be Jen's team.
Oh, and Golden Graham's are in it as well.
Oh yeah, and Golden Graham's.
It should be good. It's a good mix of teams, so hopefully there's a few persons.
Blueprint Gaming playing as well. Blueprint.
Oh yeah, and I think Blueprint are in it as well.
They've been screaming a lot recently.
Yeah.
Sticking with the Twitter questions, Blood Dragons asked a good question about the new EGL site and whether we think the new site will get ladders back to how they used to be. You know, on CG when everyone used to play ladders and used to actually mean something.
Yeah. I don't think. I don't know. It seems like a bit of an outdated tradition now. It seems to work on GB just because of how easy it is to get games, but I just can't unless it's done like as a sort of pre-LAN warm-up type ladder thing.
Yeah.
Unless it's done in that sense, I can't see it ever again.
I was just thinking that, like, how about if they'd done a ladder in like the top, like had playoffs or something, and the playoffs, if you won the playoffs, you won free tickets to the next event. Maybe that would like be a decent incentive.
I think for ladders to come back properly to Europe, there needs to be some sort of incentive. Otherwise, people just aren't going to bother.
Yeah, that's true. I think we're a bit greedy on it. So
if you look at the general public and what they do, all they do is play one-day cups every day. They play one-day cup. If we don't run a one-day cup, they make a one-day cup themselves. And like the sad thing is, EGL will probably provide like an amazing website with a good system for one-day cups. But they'll probably still, a lot of them will probably still be trying to post on our forums making their own one-day cups. Yeah. It's like, obviously when EGL side comes out, we want to try and transition to the point where EGL just do the one-day cups because it's going to be a lot easier for it to run on their site, well I'm presuming it's going to be, than us doing it on the forums. But I'm actually having doubts about people actually moving over onto their site now because people are so, like, in this circle of just competing on one-day cups and EUeSports. I don't know if they're going to just go out of it straight away. Like, they're so focused on it. I don't know.
I think maybe we're going to have to make it very, very, very clear because some of the people on the website these days, I mean, I've only been on it for not that long, but the website's changed quite a lot since I've been on it. And it seems like you have to, like, literally, you're going to have to change the website. One big message saying no more ODCs on this site. Go to EGL. Because some of the nutters on this site these days, oh my god.
Now that Jason running his own one-day cup again.
I mean,
he gets out of bed every morning and asks Chuff if it's a one-day cup.
Like, that's great. In case anyone doesn't know, that ex-Jason guy, every single day he asks Chuffle if there's a one-day cup. And he just like bugs the shit out of them.
That's good. We're doing something right with the ADCs. Just need to find a way to maybe run them a bit better, not have them spamming up their website.
I think I saw as well. Didn't someone try to run their own one-day cup and they turned it into an 8-team one-day cup and they put themselves in the final and knocked out however many teams and then started the tournament from there.
You've got the other day. I don't see why people enter those cups. Like, what do they expect? You know what I mean? Some kid off GB just come to try and like run a cup. It's like the worst thing in history, and people still enter them for some reason.
Yeah, I know.
Alright. Another question on Twitter, a lad called Ben T. He's asked, this is a question for you, Hypes. He's put, if you stream on Twitch, you get people watching who aren't from EUeSports, whereas if you're streaming on YouTube, you're only going to get people that are going to be watching from EUeSports. He says there's no point in having that sort of media if it's just for the people of EUeSports. I don't know if you can answer that. Again, you're going to have to try and justify again why we stream on YouTube rather than Twitch, because he seems to, he says that he's going to get people watching that aren't from EUeSports if it's on Twitch, whereas you won't if it's from YouTube. How can we change that? Or do you have an answer to that?
Well, I understand what he's going on about. Obviously, there's constraints on us now with the YouTube as we're partnered with Machinima, and that's obviously has constraints that you can't just sort of decide that you're going to stream on Twitch this day and YouTube the next. Obviously, I want to keep as much as we can with the streaming and the media on EUeSports. But I mean, when my site comes out with the streaming, I'll be able to do it on there if people prefer it. But for the moment, it's going to be strictly on the YouTube.
Yeah, basically. Sorry, House, but like, just people say why don't we use Twitch? Like, basically, we've got a contract with Machinima and YouTube. Like, we're getting paid. Like, the whole network's getting paid, like us and Deseo, to stream on YouTube. So we can't just choose Twitch. Otherwise, it's just we just can't do it. So
it's just sort of you have to make us. like a sacrifice really. You're gonna have to come to the YouTube, and it's just helping out the whole community, not just PS3 but Xbox. Everyone is just helping out the whole community really. So we'll think something around it, but for the moment, just share the EUeSports YouTube as much as you can. And yeah, cheers for the question, mate.
Without like being too stupid about it, like obviously we'll have our feature matches on YouTube, but there's going to be like people who stream separately, and like we'll make sure that when people stream, they'll still get like more exposure if they can, because obviously we can't put everything on YouTube. We can't allow everyone access to YouTube. So like when there isn't a featured match on, if there's people streaming on Twitch, like we'll make sure that we can get a little bit of exposure to people streaming on Twitch. We can't just strictly have it like all of our stuff has to be on YouTube. But I'm just saying, for the people who can stream, we need to make sure that they get noticed as well. Just because streaming's like such a big deal, we need to get as much stuff streamed as possible, even after the feature matches. It's hard to explain what I'm trying to say, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I see what you mean. We could advertise maybe their Twitches, but I don't know if that'd be a breach of copyright. When I get my site out, we'll have big show matches on there, but also like people can just stream. They could come to my site and they could approach me and say, can I stream for your website? I'll say, yeah, definitely. Like when we haven't got anything going, you can just stream your game battles, EUeSports, DeSoto, whatever on it. It's not just strictly for Call of Duty, PS3. We doing stuff with Gears of War, Halo as well. So yeah, streaming is so big these days. We need to find a way to include it.
Also, something like I don't really know enough about it or understand it, but I think with premium matches on GB now, you can stream the matches by like literally just clicking a button or something. Like I don't know how it works or anything, but like that might be something to look into.
Yeah, I think it's just a way of sort of advertising your stream. I think basically you stream, but it gets put through maybe their Twitch. So obviously they're getting the revenue from the extra streaming, you're getting the exposure, and that's how that's worked, which would be a similar sort of thing as I'd do, but more community based, obviously.
Alright, just a couple more topics to go through before we wrap it up, and the first one is one that's always brings us a bit of light-hearted fun, and that's the old free agent conversation that we have here. Let's have a look at a list of free agents that are looking for teams currently on EUeSports. Of course, we wish them all the best of luck. Hope they can get to teams and get to LAN events. I'm going to start with one guy that's close to all of our hearts, unless he has a team ready. I seriously doubt it though, and that's Big Robert. That's Big Bobby Loveday.
Loveday,
yeah. Best of luck to you, mate. I'm sure you'll search for a team won't take long. Phil, why haven't you taken him in yet, man? You're old pal.
I think we're already sorted.
You went for Keane. Loveday's better than Keane. Come on.
Like Keane told us to tell you, if you start on Keane, I need to put you in your place.
Yeah,
just like I did when I 3-0'd you the other day.
Yeah. Keane. I would have been worried myself, but you've got Keane, so I'm not that worried. Loveday is looking for a team. Another guy looking for a team is Steve Wiz, with that horrible Liverpool avatar. He's looking for a team himself. He went to EGL 5 with Dev, and he's looking for one. His old teammate as well, Monkey Dude's looking for a team as well.
Monkey Dude. Have those two split up?
I think I have.
Oh my god, Monkey Dude. Monkey Dude and Steve Wiz, they're great mates. They should stick together. This is a big EUeSports. Please, Monkey Dude and Steve Wiz, get back together. And also, what's going on with Steve Wiz Khalifa? I saw on the forums the other day.
It's Noxy trolling again.
Not seeing Marky, not very nice, really. They were dealt with by moderators swiftly. I'm not sure who it was. Boring git.
It wasn't me. I don't.
It was probably.
I'm a content staff. I don't abuse my powers.
Dean loves getting the old ban hammer up.
Dean has banned so many people, I swear. He loves it.
He's probably got the best ban to day as staff ratio out of anyone ever.
Let's have a look who else is in there. Gold is in there. Gold is a free agent. He's in there. Old Xbox player. He's teamed with John, Dodge and Shocks for the Invitational P2P. So it'll be what a way to get his name out there. Also,
Big X Jason.
Yeah, go on. What was that?
Big X Jason.
Big X Jason is also looking for a team. Best of luck to you, Jason. I'm sure you'll be very fruitful. 5 replies. That's good. I'll reply in a minute. I'll put good luck. Also,
I know, thank you as well.
You know what we should do?
J993 is looking as well.
We should do,
big
like,
Geordie lad.
Who's a big Geordie lad?
J993 is looking for a team.
Alright. No,
got-
you know, like next time we should like get free agents in this call and then like plug themselves and advertise themselves.
Yeah.
We got,
Not shocks just for that.
We'll do that.
So it's
Give him
like
like
just
a
posting right now.
30-second slot. Just give him a 30-second slot and just say, bam, just advertise yourself. Why actually
Dance for
That
us.
would be so good.
dance for us.
If you guys
So this
tweet
guy
at
was just
us,
posted right now. This apathy guy seems.
what's he said?
Oh, he's a PC gamer. He really knows his business. This guy does. So
Elite gamer.
Is there anything else left to talk about, or we're done?
I think we covered pretty much everything.
I think everything's been covered.
Right.
Bang
on 8 o'clock. No, go watch football.
Yeah.
Check the Twitter one last time.
Oh yeah, just I've got to say as well.
Shout out.
We've got reviews coming up, which we haven't done before. We've got a Scuff controller, which I'll be reviewing. Infected audio headset and Squid Grip. It's like some grip you put on a controller. So they'll be on the EUeSports YouTube, like pretty soon, like within a few weeks, I think. Just whenever I get delivered, really.
Looking forward to that. Phil's going to be giving us his best casual UK impression as he be reviewing.
Hi guys, I've got some Squid Grip for you. Guys.
Casuals UK. Yeah, guys. Also, big thing. Just go sub to the YouTube. Obviously, we've got all Phil's content coming out. We've got all the content that I'm producing, the community montage. If you haven't heard, I'm happy if you send me your montage through Skype. If it's decent, I'll upload it to the YouTube. If you produce anything decent, like you've got any ideas for a series, just produce it, send it over to me, and if it's decent, I'll upload it and give you a regular slot on the YouTube. That's it, basically. I don't know if everyone's got shout-outs they want to do.
Don't think so. Just follow at @RNX_Dan on Twitter, as you do.
I need to check my Twitter for shout-outs. I did say tweet me. I've got to give a shout-out to Blueprint and Big Vibes, obviously. Blueprint have made me quite a beautiful new background on YouTube, if you haven't seen that yet. So go check out their website. They're streaming most nights. Shout out Lewis, as he actually brought my EGL ticket. So he's probably the nicest guy. He's actually got a absolutely huge donkey penis. He's the sound guy. Just everyone who's helped me out in Comp Central, everyone who's Big Santa, everyone's streaming, everyone who's watching this stream, God, Jesus, and yeah.
Big J Cooper, any shout outs?
No. Shout out to myself.
What, your mum?
Yeah, that's about it.
I think we have to shout out Big Tibbs, don't we? Because I think he got mugged the other day, so everyone can provide a Tibbs charity.
Shout out to Tibbs for becoming a man.
Yeah.
That's Phil, put it.
Phil, anyone?
No. Styles and Keane. I wouldn't shout out Josh because he's in the call.
No, fair enough. Well, me, just my team, DG and EB. That's pretty much it, and I'll pretty much wrap things up. So thanks a lot, all of you, for doing this. Much appreciated. Good third episode, and join us again very soon, where we will be once again discussing everything to do with PS3 and EUeSports. So thank you very much.
Cheers, guys.